Hello, 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 FPL managers. Welcome to Gameweek 2 deadline. How are we all doing today? Hello, hello. Welcome, FPL managers, to my Gameweek 2 deadline stream with FPL Hauly. I am here to help answer any of your questions. Hello, hello, FPL managers. Welcome to my Gameweek 2 deadline stream. I'm FPL Hauly. I've got 16 consecutive seasons of playing FPL, and I've got a top 2K all-time rank. Hey, it's Slim. How are you, man? Good to see you back. I was wondering if you'd join, considering the time difference. I wondered if you were just very excited to be awake for the kickoff of the game, but here you are again, man. Good to see you. Guys, how did you get on in game week 1? Let me know. Post your scores and ranks in the chat, and let me know if you've got any questions as well. I've got a few questions that I'm going to need your help with. I need answering. As you can see, my bench boost is active, which I am on the fence about, if I'm really honest. I need to have a long, hard think about yeah, whether I want to play it or not. But anyway. Slim, what was your score? How did you do game week 1? Let me know. All right, team. Chat. The things I need your help with today are, I need your help with whether I should bench boost or not, who my captain should be, and whether I make any transfers. I think the last one is easy. I think it makes sense for me to roll. But yeah, bench boost active and captain. At the moment, I've got it on Salah, who I think it's going to stay, but I do quite like Palmer and Watkins as potential options. Yeah, Slim, 53 is not bad. That's, I'd say bang, probably on average, maybe just slightly below average. But yeah, long season ahead. Hopefully I can help boost your rank. Who else is in the chat team? Let me know what help you need with your game week 2 dilemmas. Have you got any questions you need answering? If we've not met yet, and this is your first time joining FPL Hauly, I've been playing FPL. This is my 17th season, and I've got a top 2K all-time rank, 10 top 100K finishes, and I just love FPL, and I love helping people answer their questions, so let me know. I have gone for Estev because my bench boost is active. So you see there the blue box, my bench boost is currently active. If I decide not to play my bench boost, Estev and Milenkovic would be a very tough decision. So yeah, that's a really good question. But as it stands, because my bench boost is active, I'm just playing it as it is. But if I don't bench boost, I think based on the bookies odds, which I quite like to look at for clean sheets sometimes when I've got a very tight decision like this, I think the bookies actually have Burnley with a better clean sheet odds than Forest. But I think there's a lot at play there. So firstly, if we actually break down game week 1, I think both the 3-0 scorelines against Burnley and for Sunderland probably flattered both of those teams. Burnley actually looked really good. They looked better going forward, to be fair. But in terms of like XG, Spurs massively overperformed, as did Sunderland. So what I will be very interested to see is whether or not Burnley will really shut up shop and try and play it very tight and look to frustrate Sunderland, who will obviously be flying high after their 3-0 win. Now, on the flip side, in terms of XG created by Sunderland, I think it was like the 4th lowest. I think West Ham, on paper, had the 4th best defence in terms of XG conceded, but Sunderland obviously scored 3 goals. So I do wonder whether we could potentially see a Burnley clean sheet in game week 2, and that's why I am leaning towards playing my bench boost, because I do like the idea of having Dubravka and Estev. However, if I don't bench boost Sanchez or Milenkovic, benching Sanchez or Milenkovic or playing them would be a very tough decision. So that's actually probably one of the reasons why I'm in favor of my bench boost, is because it removes the headache for me and I just play the chip and then I can move on. I actually want to talk to you, chat, just around my general thoughts towards the bench boost chip. I actually really don't like it a lot of the time. I think it's great in years gone by when you have back end of the season, lots of doubles, and you would look to wildcard anywhere from like game week 30 to 32, 33, and then you'd have a nice big double in 34, and you can just stack your team with a bunch of doublers, play your bench boost, and see how you go. For this bench boost specifically, being the first half of the season with no doubles, it kind of feels a bit like pick your week and just play it and hope for the best. You know, some guys were getting 20 plus points on their bench last week or their bench. Others, you know, usually I would say a good bench boost, or not even a good bench boost, an average bench boost would be anywhere from like 8 to 10 points. So there's a part of me that thinks, would I just bench boost and back the Burnley defence and hope that Esteve and Dubravka do well? If Gui from Sunderland comes on for a point, so be it. But yeah, that's why there's a part of me that is considering the bench boost. What I can then do is then I can stick with my original plan, which is to game wildcard game week 3 or 4 after the international break, the transfer window shut. We kind of know the Isak situation amongst others. We know what team squads are looking like. And then I can just take any funds out of my bench. Not that I have much in my bench at the moment, but I can just focus on a very strong 11 or 12 and then have 2 duds on my bench and just forget about them. That would be my pros around playing my bench boost now, because then I could just forget about it. The other option I have is to not play it and just hold it and then look to see if any game week looks appealing between now and game week 19. Game week 8 does look quite appealing. I believe, I can't remember which one it is, but Burnley and Sunderland both play, I think it's Leeds and Wolves at home in game week 8. Now, I think it might actually be Burnley having Leeds at home in game week 8. I think Sunderland at home is a nicer fixture than Leeds at home. I thought Leeds actually looked very good on Monday night. They obviously got lucky with that penalty, but they look fairly solid. So I'm not sure. And again, what I wouldn't want to have to do is take any bench boost consideration into my wildcard, whether I wildcard game week 3, 4, 5, or 6. I don't want to be thinking about having certain budget enablers that play certain game weeks and look to, look to kind of structure my team around a bench boost. Whereas now I can just play it, get it done, it's out of the way. If I get 2 double Burnley clean sheet, I'll be delighted, and I'll take that all the way to the bank. But if not, I'll just say, okay, cool, it's played and I can move on. I then keep my free hit and my triple captain for probably game weeks 14 and 15, because I like both Liverpool and Man City play Sunderland at home in game weeks 14 and 15. And then we get the AFCON transfer top up. That was a very long monologue from me, but thank you for the question, Jizzleton Namikaze. What are your questions, Tim? Slim, Jizzleton, can I help answer any of your questions? How are your teams looking? What can I help you with? Just 1 second, folks. No worries, Justin. I hope that was useful. I was going to ask when else you'd like to play, but yeah. Gameweek 8 would be another option. Just when I'm looking at the budget enablers, and for me, what seem to be proving really good value are Burnley and Sunderland defence. The other budget enabler that you can consider is Josh King at Fulham. So he is a 4.5 million midfielder that's starting in number 10 in the number 10 position for Fulham. Game week 8, Fulham have Arsenal at home, so not a great fixture. But if you wanted to structure your team where you had, Dubravka as your 4 mil goalkeeper, either Estev or I think it's Ronaldo, the Sunderland 4 mil defender, then you could have Josh King as your 4.5 mid, and then you could have Gui as your 4.5 striker. The thing is with Gui, who knows if he's going to play? There are rumours that he has a clause in his contract from Chelsea about him having to play a certain amount of minutes for Sunderland. The thing that again makes me nervous about Gui is that the 2 Sunderland strikers, the one who started and the one who came on, both scored and looked really good. So I would be very surprised if the Sunderland manager either starts Gui ahead. I doubt he'll start, but even if he comes on, I would be quite surprised. But maybe he plays out wide. I'm not really sure. But he's a very explosive player, Gui. He scored, I think, 6 goals in the group stages of the Europa Conference League for Chelsea. So he's got pedigree, and he's obviously a very good player. And you would have thought that Sunderland would have signed him with a view to playing him if he does have this clause in his contract. But anyway, we'll see. Digiton, who do you have in your team? If you're tempted to bench boost, do you have a similar team to me? Let me know what your squad's looking like, and then I'll let you know my thoughts on a bench boost. And the other thing as well, Slim, is you can just pick your team, and if you walk into a week where you're like, oh, I've got quite a few benching headaches, you could just play your wild card, if you feel like you've got some upside. And that is a little bit of how I'm approaching this game week, is outside of Gui. If I knew that he was either going to start or at least feature for 30 minutes, I would definitely be bench boosting, because to do the kind of coin toss picks of Sanchez over Dubravka, Milenkovic or Esteve, and even Dorgu, away at Fulham, I felt like Man United are really good at Old Trafford against Arsenal. You never know, they might turn up. I thought Dorgu looked really attacking. He hit the post, I think it was. And again, with regards to, I think it's Lisandro Martinez coming back from injury. Once he's back, Dorgu's minutes might be restricted. So there is a part of me that is just I don't even want to think about it. I feel quite shackled when I have the bench boost just in the back of my head, and I don't want to make any transfers to facilitate it. And I also don't want to plan a wild card around it, particularly when there's no doubles. So I'm very tempted, just to keep it activated. I'll play it, and I can then play a wild card 3 or 4 and just focus on maximizing points for that run of games. Emmerich, I would, without a doubt, captain Haaland versus Spurs. I thought City looked really good. And Emmerich, welcome to the chat. It's great to meet you. Thanks for joining. I'm FPL Hauly. If you've not subscribed already, please hit subscribe. Haaland against Spurs for me. I thought Haaland and just City in general looked so good in the week. They looked scarily good. I thought they looked back to their brilliant best. Arsenal were laboured against Man United, and Saka was pretty anonymous, if I'm honest. I'd be going Haaland. Go with the form over the fixture. And I think this match for Thomas Frank and for Spurs will be a big test for him. And you've got to remember as well, Thomas Frank did very well when Brentford got promoted at playing tight in some of the bigger games. But remember some of those matches in the G-Tech last season, they were winning matches like 4-3, 4-2. I think they drew a game 4-4. Brentford conceded a lot of goals under Thomas Frank last season. And yeah, he's going to have to pull off a bit of a miracle to try and keep a clean sheet away at City. So yeah, Emmerich, I would be punting for Haaland. I'm actually incredibly jealous for anyone who has Haaland, not just because of his performance last week, but because you have that captaincy choice this week as well. So yeah, Haaland for me all the way. Giselton, Dubravka, Richards, Virgil, Maria, Palmer, Salah, Reinders, João Pedro, is that? I assume it's João Pedro. Gyökeres, bench, Sanchez, Diouf, Esteve, Gui. So Diouf, is that Diouf from West Ham? So he'll be home to Chelsea. I mean, that's a really good 11. So the difference that we have is that I've got so you've got Richards, Virgil, Mario. I've got Nori. Yeah, I've got Milenkovic and Dorgu. Okay, so yeah, I would potentially argue that Diouf. I've got Dorgu, who's stronger than Diouf, but like that's a home match for West Ham. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet, but Diouf is a very attacking fullback, so you never know, he could get an attacking return. Giselton, like I would happily bench boost that team, but it's very much up to you. Emmerich, and also who's the best 6'5" midfielder? Sorry to hear that, Giselton. 51. That's tough. Emmerich, who's your team now? Are you looking to make a substitution? Sorry, not substitution. Are you looking to make a transfer? I have Jorginho Ruta in my team, and I understand he didn't play particularly well game week 1. He did get an assist, and they're playing Everton away. The run after Everton away isn't great, but I really liked the idea of Ruta. And what I like about Jorginho Ruta is the way that Emmerich is the way that the Brighton manager Hertzler is talking about Jorginho. He's talking about how he can play as a striker with Danny Welbeck as a 10, or he can play out wide. So I think Jorginho is really nailed for minutes. He's only 6 million, and he's going to basically play along the Brighton front line. I see Jorginho a bit like João Pedro was last year, but just a 500,000 more and a midfielder. So good for potential DEFCON, good for clean sheet, a clean sheet point and such like as well. I had Amazic, but he didn't start, so attempt to go for someone like Kudus or Njai. Yeah, Kudus looked really good, but again, City away. And Jai would yeah, to be fair, Spurs have quite a nice run after City away. Could you either bench Ahmad this week, or maybe would Ahmad start this week? I thought Ahmad looked really good when he came on, by the way. I thought he looked really good against Arsenal. There's a chance that Ahmad might start this week. So what you could do, Emmerich, is you could maybe roll your transfer and hold Ahmad. Who could you play instead of Ahmad? Because that could be an option for you. Anderson and then who do you have as your 5.5? Because just because you have 6.5 doesn't mean you necessarily have to spend it. How did Njai do? Yeah, blanked. Brian at home, Wolves away, Villa at home. Yeah, that's a nice. He played 90 minutes. 0.02 expected in goal involvement. That's not great. Yeah, and Jai didn't look brilliant, but that's quite a nice run. Those next three are nice for Everton. So yeah, and Jai could be an option, but I do like Kudus after City. So you could either bring Kudus in now, or Emmerich, would you consider either Reinders if you don't have him, or even Anderson or Adingra? I really liked both Anderson and Adingra. Now, the advantage for Forest playing Palace away is that they played last night in Europe and they were the only team to do that. So they're going to potentially be tired. They didn't travel, but they're going to potentially be a bit tired. They've obviously 2 home games. But even so, Mateta, I think, played most of the game, if not all of it. So that is just one thing with regards to Forest. So yeah, Emmerich, I'd say consider a 5.5 or Jorginho Ruta, or consider just rolling and then bringing in Kudus next week. Okay, Jizzleton, I like it. Gone for the bench book. Let's hope that works out for both of us. Okay, you've got Sanchez, Gabriel, Pedro Porro, De Koipa, nice. Palmer, Diallo. Okay, you've got Reinders, Saka, Gakpo, João Pedro, nice. Haaland on the bench due for stuff. That's a nice team, Emmerich. I really like that team. And you've got 0.5. Oh, and you've got 0.5 in the bank. Okay. Oh, and what's Ahmad? Is he 6 then? Oh no, he's 6.5. Yeah, but there's no one really at 7, is there? 7's a bit of an awkward. What about Rodgers? Could you do Morgan Rodgers? If you've got 7 mil, could you do Morgan Rodgers? Brentford away, Palace at home, Everton home. That's a nice run for Villa. Yeah, and you don't have Watkins, do you? Emmerich, if you can stretch to Rodgers, I would consider Rodgers. I like that. I think he's a great player, and I like that. I like that run for sure. It is an awkward price point. There aren't that many players at 7 mil. Yeah, Neto, Langer, Liverpool, but then Leeds and Wolves. Yeah. If you really want to make a transfer this week, that would be my advice. I'd go for Rodgers. I think he looks great. Hi Vishesh, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to FPL Hauly. I have Haaland and Palmer. Don't have Salah. Who should be the captain choice? Haaland all day long for me. Someone asked that earlier. Emmerich asked that earlier. So yeah, I'm actually very jealous of Haaland owners this week. I think he could do very well against Spurs. I was saying it at the start of the stream, so I'm not sure if you missed it, but I think the 3-0 scoreline for Spurs flattered them against Burnley. Burnley actually created a lot of chances. And when I was doing some analysis this week for content, Anthony, the Burnley midfielder, he obviously was playing very attacking, but he underperformed his XG, and by the most, by nearly 3 or 4 points, I think it was. And Burnley as a team created a lot of chances. So I think Spurs actually rode their luck a bit, keeping a clean sheet. And I think City will score a couple of goals, and you put your money behind Haaland being involved in at least a couple of them if they do. Yeah, Emmerich. I thought you might be Norwegian with the O, or it's obviously not an O, but the O with the line through it at the end of your name. So I thought so. So yeah, go for Haaland for sure if he's your fellow countryman then. And yeah, Vishesh, I would definitely be going for Haaland as well. All good, Vishesh. Thank you so much for the kind words, my man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. No problem at all. I love just talking FPL. I could honestly just do this all day. I love answering people's questions and helping you guys. Looking forward to digging in with you guys for the season. I won't be able to do a live stream for every deadline, but I'll try and do as many as I can. And yeah, appreciate you guys dialing in. And if I could just ask, if you've not liked the stream, that really helps the channel. So if you could please like and keep going with the chats. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to FPL Hauly. I've been playing FPL now. This is my 17th consecutive season of playing FPL, and I have a top 2K all-time rank. And yeah, my dream is to one day win FPL, but we'll see. That might be a long shot. Vishesh, you're also on the bench boost bandwagon. I like that. Vishesh, what's your team for your bench boost? Post it in the chat. Emmerich, what do you think about Gakpo? Do you think he still starts in Liverpool? I feel like he's a good Salah cover. Obviously, not as good. Yeah, someone commented one of my videos, because another piece of insight that I found really interesting was Gakpo. He obviously got his goal, but he was actually the player. He had the highest expected assists, nearly 0.5, and he created one big chance. And he was the player with the highest expected assist to not actually get an assist in Gameweek 1. So Gakpo looked really good, not just from a goal threat, but also an assist perspective as well. I really like Gakpo. I think at least for the next couple of game weeks, Gakpo is going to have that left-sided slot tied up for himself. But yeah, the $1 million question is, or the $150 million question is, if they sign Isak, if they can get Isak over the line, what happens to Gakpo? Now, I think what happens is, first off, I think the Isak thing is going to rumble. I think that will potentially go all the way to the wire. So if Isak's going to leave Newcastle and go to Liverpool, it's not going to be happening anytime soon. You then have international break, and you then have Isak, won't have probably played for Newcastle. So Isak will probably need to be slowly integrated into the team. So there's a good chance that Isak doesn't even come on for Liverpool until game week 4, game week 5, and even then that'll be coming off the bench. So Gakpo for that whole time, I would say is fine. But if they do sign Isak, I would say Isak becomes the first choice number 9, and Ekitike then would push out to the left, or be pushed out to the left, and be challenging Gakpo for those minutes. Now, Ekitike has made an amazing start. He looks like a brilliant player. And I think he played quite a bit off the left for Frankfurt, I want to say, was his team in the Bundesliga. So my thoughts would be is that him and Gakpo will then, a little bit like you had Gakpo and Diaz in competition for the left-sided spot. Ekitike might also come on the odd time for Isak, tactically, but I would have thought that Isak, when fit, will start and probably play most minutes if Liverpool sign him. So that's what remains to be seen. And that for me is another reason why I'm really looking to change the way I think about and play FPL this season, because we've got so many more chips. We also then have that top up of 5 extra free transfers for AFCON. I would usually try and hold my wildcard for as long as possible at the start of the season. But for me now, 3-4 weeks of data, transfer window closes, international break, I'm just going to hit that wildcard button. Even if I'm pretty happy with my team, I think I'm just going to do it. And I'm not actually too worried about trying to catch fixture swings necessarily. The way I see the game going for this season anyway is you can just kind of lock in your budget players or your fringe players, because we've got, so many chips and so many transfers. For me to do well in FPL this season will be how you approach your premium combinations and how they complement each other in blocks. So can you have Salah, probably not Salah and Haaland, you might be able to, some people do, but a combination of Salah, Haaland, Palmer, Saka, Wirtz, and Bruno. I'd probably say, maybe not, but maybe there's 5 there. Salah, Haaland, Palmer, Saka, and Bruno. right now are the premiums, a few in and around that. But then can you pick up combinations of those premiums for good fixture runs of form, and use your transfers to aggressively do that, rather than, you know, tweaking things around the edges and just seeing Salah, say, as like a set and forget for the season. So that's the way that I'm thinking about how I want to try and play FPL this year. And that's a big mindset shift for me, having played it for 16 years. Usually more erring on the side of caution. I want to try and go quite aggressive this year with premiums specifically, and attack blocks of game weeks for certain combinations. Sorry, team, that was a good old ramble. So I hope that was useful. Yeah, Emmerich. So answer your question. Yeah, Giselton, no worries, man. Appreciate your time as well. Thank you for joining. So Vishesh, you have Haaland, João Pedro, Ekitike. Oh, nice. Semenyo, Palmer, Randers, Kudus. I say no Salah. Randers, Kudus, Adingra, Diouf, Munoz, Murillo, Pedro Porres. Is that your squad? That's an amazing squad. I do like that squad, Vishesh. Who are your goalkeepers? Pedro Porro away at Man City would make me a little bit nervous. But that's a great squad, mate. Like, yeah, like you could easily bench boost that and see how you get on. Like, yeah, okay, Dubravka cells. Yeah, man, I can see why you're considering bench boosting that. That's really good. I love that. I love how bold you've been going without Salah as well. Fair play to you. Rangers, Kudus, Adingra, Diouf, Munoz, Murillo. Did you start with Semenyo, or have you brought him in? Because if you did, hats off to you. And I like that you've gone aggressive with that as well. Yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, that's a great squad, man. What points did you get in Game Week 1? AH and 74. Nice. Very nice. That's a brilliant start. Well done. Fair play to you. Yeah, I have to say, like, even though I went with Salah, it has been really great to see, you know, people like yourself, Vishesh, who've gone without him and, you know, punted on Haaland, doing really well. I think it's great for the game. Fair play to you. I think it makes a lot of, you know, Salah permacaps like myself really consider, you know, doing something a bit different. So that's nice. Fair play to you. Good luck with that strategy as well. H&P product reviews. Love what you're doing with the channel. Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Haaland and Salah got 66 points. Game week 1. That's good though, man. For no Haaland and Salah, I played a bench boost. Okay. Am I cooked? No, you're definitely not cooked at all. We were just talking. So, sorry, I don't want to call you H&P product reviews, but yeah, no, you're definitely not cooked. Like, I think bench boosts, no one's going to be defined by their bench boost this season. I assume you've got Sales like Nori, Dorgu, Keane, Semenyo, Ryan Saka, Palmer, Watkins, Ekitike, Joe Pedro, Captain Saka. Yeah, that's a really good squad, mate. Like, you're definitely not cooked. I think I'd 100% be captaining Saka. I think Leeds at home is a nice match. You've played your bench boost now, which means that you can just focus on your starting 11. You can just pick your best looking 11 each week, which I think is a great position to be in. It's kind of why I want to just play mine, get out of the way. You've got Semenyo, Reinders. Yeah, that's nice, man. Have you made a transfer this week, or are you considering one? Let me know what you're considering. Nice. Guys, you're all doing better than me. You should be the ones doing the content. Hey, Eddie, good to meet you, man. Eddie, yeah, have you made a transfer yet or not? Let me know. Okay, cool. So you've moved early for Semenyo. Nice. I like that, nice and aggressive. No, you're definitely not cooked, mate, at all. I think your squad is looking really good. You've got rounders, so you've got a bit of City cover. I wouldn't be, even though I'm going to captain him, I wouldn't be worried about Salah this week. You, like I, should probably be a bit nervous about Haaland. I think he's going to go off against Spurs, but again, maybe that's just because I don't have him. But yeah, your team looks really good. Oh, and you've got Ainori as well, same as me. Cool. Do you think Gabriel is a good 6 defender, or should I upgrade to someone more offensive like Ainori? Frimpong? Well, Frimpong is injured. We just got news that Frimpong is going to be out until at least after the international break. So I would put Frimpong on the watch list for game week 4 or 5 onwards. Yeah, Gabriel, like, he's really solid. Arsenal defense is amazing. I personally went for Ainori because I felt like he was massively going under the radar, and B, I just thought his attacking upside in a Man City team could be crazy good, and I just had it in my head that he would want to like absolutely pop back at Wolves. What I found really interesting though was that he was tucking in as quite a defensive. He was kind of tucking in as the third centre back, and Rico Lewis was inverting. Now I thought Ainori would be basically playing like Gvardiol was last season, almost like a left winger. So it will be interesting to see how at home Pep approaches the game. I guess this is the beauty of picking Man City players, because Pep Roulette is not just a thing for who actually starts every week, but it's also tactics, his formations, how players show up. So yeah, I obviously really like Ainori because I have him, but he's also a very short-term punt for me. I'm, as I say, looking to play a pretty early wild card, so Spurs, Brighton, and Man United. I'll probably have Ainori gone by game week 5. My only concern with Ainori is if he's going to keep playing in that system, when Gvardiol's back, which will probably be next game week, does Ainori go to the bench? Does he play a different role? So I would just have slight concerns about Ainori. I think Gabriel is a really solid, if you just want like a 6 mil set and forget, yeah, Gabriel is very solid. There is a lot of good quality in a lot of the 5.5 million players, though. You've got Richards. Sorry, he's 4.5. You've got the 2 guys, Milenkovic and Murillo at Forest. Pedro Porro looks very good at 5.5. You've got a really good selection of 4.5s as well. The only thing with Gabriel is he obviously has the attacking threat from set pieces, but very rarely or a lot less often will pick up DEFCON. Now, again, Emmerich, this probably goes a little bit to you having a think about how you like to play FPL. If you want to go for maximum upside, go for Gabriel, because a bit like Ainori, he could bang and get a header, clean sheet, free bonus. Or if you want someone that's going to more tick along and just get the 2 points for DEFCON most weeks, you go like a Milenkovic or a Murillo or a Tarkowski or someone a bit more like that. But of the premiums, both Saliba and Gabriel don't do great for DEFCON, just because Arsenal generally dominate the ball so much. I thought it was really interesting that I think Odegaard actually got DEFCON at Old Trafford, and a lot of people were punting on Bruno being the one to get the DEFCON, but I think that was actually testament to how the game was played. In the second half, Man United actually dominated Arsenal, and so it was Arsenal that were doing all the defending and trying to cling on to their 1-goal lead. So that was quite interesting. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question. Eddie, your bench is Saar, Palace, Porro, Cons, and Dubravka on the bench. Oh, okay, Cons is suspended, obviously. Yeah, it's decent. Thanks for the feedback. No worries at all, mate. Hope that was helpful. Yeah, Cucurella's good. Emmerich, who's your goalkeeper? Remind me. Did you post your squad? Yeah, you've already got Sanchez. I would be. Yeah, Chelsea have a nice run. I just deliberately didn't look at any Chelsea defenders because I was like, cool, I've got Sanchez. Like, I just want to lock that in, and for him to be my entry into Chelsea's defense. Yeah, Kukre is great. Like, good for I think he's very good for DEFCON. Or is he attacking? I always get confused with Kukre. Like, I'm not even really sure what type of player he is. I should probably do a bit more research into that one. But it goes to show, because I had Sanchez, I was like, cool, I don't want to plug into the Chelsea defense. Yeah, okay, he's good attacking. Yeah, well, maybe that's it. The only slight problem with that, though, is, and again, Emmerich, this kind of goes, for me, I would more look to get coverage across multiple good defenses as opposed to like doubling down on one. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had seasons, most of the last couple of seasons, I would have had for, I'd say, 80% of the season, double on Arsenal defense, just because, most times they were getting clean sheets and Raya was a steal and Gabriel was getting, scoring goals. So if you really back the Chelsea defense and you think that they're going to do really well, then yeah, by all means, a Chelsea double up with a Kukurea. For me right now, though, I would be. Are you thinking of making the transfer this week? Because Gabriel's got Leeds at home, so I would definitely just hold Gabriel for now and then see where you're at. But I wouldn't be in a rush to sell Gabriel. I think that a lot of these 6 million premium defenders are much of a muchness. If I was making a transfer this game week, it would be to really put out a fire if someone was injured or suspended or getting dropped completely, or I wanted to try and jump on the bandwagon of like a Semenyo or or a Reinders or someone who's looked really good in game week 1 that I want to, or like a Chris Wood. But I wouldn't be selling Gabriel at home to Leeds. Oh, triple Arsenal defense, nice. I don't think I ever went as far as a triple up on a defense, but nice. All right, team, we have less than 15 minutes to go before the deadline. Are there any leaks or anything happening? Anyone keeping an eye on Twitter? What can people share? Nothing seems to be coming out there, does it? Like lazy FPL leaked quite a lot of stuff last season. All right, team. So I feel like, from my perspective, I've actually talked myself into sticking with my bench boost. I think I'm just going to do it. And Vishesh and Giselton, if you're in with me as well, let's all go on the bench boost together and just see how it goes. Yeah, it's the weakest chip. Like, honestly, if you can get like 8 points, just get two, which I probably won't even get with GUI, but you never know. You might come on and score a goal and remove my double Burnley defense. Yeah, let's go, Vishesh. Come on. Yeah, Emmerich, I thought United looked great, actually. Arsenal were lucky. Lucky. Like, outside of the goalkeeping error, I guess you could call it, it probably should have been a 0-0, or United could have possibly got a win. I thought Mbeumo and Cunha looked good, though. And I think Šeško would be good leading the line, allowing Cunha to drift and Mbeumo to cut in on the right. So Van de Ven or Pedro Porro to start. Mohamed, I would start Pedro Porro just because I think he's got attacking threat. So you could get some kind of attacking return. Yeah, who else is on the bench boost team? Let me know in the chat. Mohamed, what about Steve or Van de Ven? I wouldn't play double Spurs defense away at City. I would go Estev at home to Sunderland. So for me, out of those three, I would start Estev and Pedro Porro, and I'd bench Van de Ven. Next week, I'm planning to replace Joe Pedro with Mark Chris Wood. Vishesh, Mark Wood, Chris Wood. Yeah, I think that's a good move. If Chris Wood continues to bang, like, he's very good. The only thing with Chris Wood is just be mindful as Forest approach Europe. They've signed a couple of strikers, I think, and I know Nuno has said that they can play together, but just watch that with Chris Wood because his minutes could be potentially under threat. But yeah, like 7.5 mil if he's going to be scoring a couple. If he carries on like he did last season, Chris Wood is a lock in most people's teams. Am I good GF to Dorgu? I thought Dorgu played well against Arsenal. Yeah, he did. He hit the post. I think he'll perform better with the Sesko striker. Yeah, I agree. I've got Dorgu. That's another reason why I want a bench boost, because I actually think that United could do well against Fulham, possibly keep a clean sheet, and possibly even win. And Dorgu could get a clean sheet and a return. And I would hate to have that pass me by. I'm capturing Watkins to Salah and Palmer as a scramble. So, Mohamed, I really like the Watkins captain. And in actual fact, I would probably actually stick my I'm going to do it now, but I would actually probably go as far to stick my vice on Watkins. I love the narrative. His old club back at Brentford. There is a question mark with Watkins, though, if he's on penalties. So I think the challenge with Watkins is, I think his ceiling is limited. I think Watkins could get a goal. I think he's like 9-10 point, potential. The likes of Salah, you saw in last week. I know he only got 8 points, but he did nothing all game and got a goal at the end and got a bonus. Like Salah's and even arguably Palmer's ceiling is just so much higher, and I do look for that in captaincy. But I do really, not to talk you out of it, I do really like the Watkins punt, and I actually think if you're looking to go against the grain, yeah, Watkins could be a really nice pick there. But yeah, Mohamed, it's a gamble, but hopefully it's one that will pay off for you. Bull Terrier. Hey, Bull Terrier, welcome to the chat. Start better or Dewsbury Hall? I mean, the new striker Barry only came on for like a couple of minutes, didn't he? That's really tough. Oh, Beto played 90 minutes. So hold on, did Barry? Yeah, okay. He came on for 4 minutes, whereas Dewsbury Hall played 90.24 expected goal involvements. Yeah, 0.07 expected goal involvements. That's a tough one, Bull Terrier. I think that could even be a coin flip, to be honest. Tough, really tough. I think they'll both start the game, but like Dewsbury Hall will probably be on set pieces, probably be a bit more integral to the play. That's a really hard one. Home to Brighton. Ooh, tough. I think Grealish might be interesting for us. Yeah. Grealish could be really nice at that price. We know what a great player he can be. Nah, Bull Terrier, that's a tough one. I'd probably be leaning Dewsbury Hall. I just think that Barry guy could start. You never know. And like Moyes made some comments about Beto in pre-season, which wouldn't have filled me with much confidence. And they've obviously signed this Barry guy who comes very highly rated. Whereas I think Dewsbury Hall will be quite integral, particularly before, it's Grealish. Grealish, come on. Yeah, Grealish came on for like 20 minutes. And I assume Dewsbury Hall just kind of would have dropped back into that midfield. Yeah, Bull Terrier, Dewsbury Hall for me. That's what I would go for. All right, team, we've got 5 minutes before the deadline. Can I just ask, thank you, firstly, so much for joining the stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hopefully been able to help you with some of your questions. If you've not already, could I please ask, it really helps me and my channel if you just smash the like button for the stream. And if you're new around here, please drop a subscribe to FPL Hauly. I try and release a couple of videos a week just to give my insights and my thoughts. I've been playing FPL. This is my 17th season playing FPL. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I've got a top 2K all-time rank. So hopefully I can pass on some wisdom. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to attacking the coming season with you guys. And yeah, here's to the bench boost crew. Yeah, nice one, Bull Terrier. Yeah, glad I could confirm. But I think yeah, Dewsbury Hall. And yeah, hopefully if you've got any value out of that, mate, drop me a subscribe, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate that. All right, team. So actually one thing that I'm putting together this week that I'm going to start promoting in my videos and will be giving away for free is a deadline checklist. I found that deadlines can be very stressful, and if there's a lot of questions and a lot of noise kind of swirling around on nice one, Bull Terrier. So I'm actually going to put a PDF together that you guys can just use, and so it's just going through your captain choice. Obviously, it's not relevant for me today, but formation, making sure I've made my picks and that I've got a clear mind, because I appreciate that stuff could be flying around, particularly on Twitter and X, with regards to leaks and such like as well. So I'll be sharing that. So comment on one of my videos with checklists. I'll be posting those this week, and then yeah, I'll send that over to you guys for free. Alrighty, team, we have 2 minutes before the deadline, so I'm locked in with my bench boost. I am going to stick with Salah captain. I think we'll also play bad. This is my mention to you. Yeah, I think Strand Larson is a good enabler option, but yeah, I'm avoiding him for now. Good night, Vishesh. Thanks for doing this. No worries, man. But best of luck with the bench boost, Vishesh. I'll see you next time, bro. Shesko or Richarlison? Ooh, that's tough. Gamal, I'd probably start Richarlison, but I'm not sure if either of them will start. Seska might start, actually. Who to bench? Ishmael, Shaw, Barnes, Reinders, or Minte? Adam, that's a tough one. Wait, Everton. I'd probably bench Minte, actually. Ooh, or maybe Salah. No, they're home to Forest, aren't they? Yeah, probably Minte. I'll probably bench Minte out of those ones. Good luck, lads. Cheers, guys. Thanks for following the stream. And yeah, please hit subscribe and hit those that like button as well. It really helps the channel. I'm going to stick with the old faithful captain of Salah away at Newcastle. If I was chasing, or if it was a little bit later in the season, I'd be tempted to punt on either Watkins or Palmer. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it tight for now. Try and stick with the pack, and then we'll ramp up the aggressive moves a little bit later in the season. And there we are, guys. Deadline has been hit. All right, team. I'm going to be logging off because I need to go and have some dinner. So best of luck with Gameweek 2. Thank you so much again for joining. I've really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how you get on in Gameweek 2. I'll be posting some videos probably Monday, Tuesday next week. But yeah, best of luck, team. Best of luck to those with their bench boosts. And I'll chat to you soon. Cheers, team.